Welcome, everyone, to this, a reading of the story of Malva in the wonderful world of Crystalia. Long ago, in one of the myriad of villages that sprinkle across the in-betwixt, lived a girl named Malva. Malva lived a rather ordinary life for a peasant of a small village. She enjoyed playing make-believe with her friends, swimming in the local river, and taking hikes into the neighboring forest. Her parents ran a general store and sold anything and everything they could keep in stock, and Malva relished in helping them sell their wares. Even from a young age, she had an extraordinary gift of gab and enjoyed nothing more than bartering toy prices with her classmates. Although, she did enjoy one thing more. Malva would often dote on a particular boy from her village at the same age, and this crush slowly turned into love. She would even let that boy get away with buying her parents' goods at cheap prices. Despite the girl being blessed with beauty from birth, and having suitor after suitor thrown themselves after her, her heart remained true to that one man. On her 17th birthday, when children were expected to get married in that village, she spent all of the money she had on a dozen fresh poppies and a brick of chocolate. She rushed to the house of that boy that she loved so much and proposed. But she was turned down. See, the man she loved was promised to another, a tall, blonde beauty, Malva's friend, even. So Malva stormed off into the woods, crying, eventually reaching a dilapidated temple of Evendal, the old god of love. She sulked, eating the whole brick of chocolate by herself. She cried into that empty forest until a voice stopped her. She thought it was perhaps Evendal himself, or the love of her life trying to get her back. But she was disappointed to see it was just one of her rejected suitors. She humored him in her sadness, until something he said made her perk up. He had offered anything she wanted, if he could just be with her. Morbid curiosity took over her, and she told him that if he gave her every piece of gold he had, she would be his. To her surprise, he agreed, and brought her everything he'd owned. The next day she went off into the forest again, this time to a nearby witch in the woods. She told the witch her story, and offered her all the gold to make her more beautiful than her blonde friend, so she may have her love. The witch agreed, giving the girl longer, healthier hair, a face clear of blemishes, and a more petite frame. She returned to the love for his hand, but he was still determined to marry Malva's friend, and now she was desperate. She offered her body once more to another one of her suitors for all the gold they had. She took this gold to the witch, this time wishing her friend would be cursed with lameness and the ugliness of a troll. She returned to her love once again, now taking care of the trollish woman. She proposed again and again. The man refused. With a face full of tears, she asked why. She was more beautiful, smarter, and could walk. Why did he still choose to marry the girl and not her? He simply responded with one word: love. Malva was furious. How could his love for her friend be more than her love for him? The troll didn't deserve his love, she thought. She found another suitor and took all of his gold to the witch again. This time, she asked the witch to make her irresistible to all, not just the one she loved, but anyone she would meet. The witch explained the spell would not have the desire she wanted, and that a spell like that would require more than just gold. So Mal offered her love. Love for a man she no longer needed, and love that would only bring her pain. Initially, the witch refused such an offer, but Mal convinced her. After the painful spell warped her body, Mal had perfect teeth, clear, smooth skin, rose, plump cheeks, lips, long eyelashes, pink hair that flowed like a river, and a meaty posterior. For the beauty standards of the time, she was perfect. She returned to the village, not seeking her love, but seducing nearly all the boys and girls of her age. Even those set to marry one another seemed content with doting on Mal instead. In public, she put on a guise of wanting to eventually choose one, but privately whispered into each suitor that they could be hers with the right price. She didn't even like laying with women, but she wasn't about to turn down a new avenue for resources. She even tempted some of the older, already married members of the village, but she eventually grew tired of her dozen suitors, but raised enough money to travel to another village. She sold anything she could, her friends' undergarments, bathwater as tonics, locks of hair, even tributes from her suitors to other suitors. They didn't care, as long as she gave them attention. She slept with the village carpenter to convince her to make a palanquin. She blackmailed the seamstress to make her an outfit that would better show her perfect body. After draining the village of all the resources left, she left, with her suitors carrying her on that palanquin. Mal knew if she was carried to the next village, the onlookers would know she was important. Some in the next village even mistook her for a god, and who was she to correct them? She began a pattern of going to villages, stealing their youth and resources, and then leaving, sometimes by pitchfork. Her flock grew until she had over 100 in a caravan following her. And after the last village accused her of being a witch and leading a cult, she took on the name with pride, now calling those who were devoted to her followers. But even this wasn't enough. She needed more. She would often tell her followers to preach about her as obnoxiously as possible. She would even do controversial and provocative actions, fornicating with monsters in the town square, bathing in blood, purposely getting into stockades, transforming into elves or animal people just to fetishize them, etc. Just to spread her word. Attention is power, even if it's negative. And if for every 100 haters she had, she got but one follower, it would be worth it. As word spread, Malva could feel actual power manifesting within her. She quickly figured out that her followers' beliefs, love, worship, and devotion had power. Power they gave to her. She wondered, eventually, if the only thing separating her from the gods above was just a follower count. She spent years amassing these followers, leaving a trail of poverty in her wake. Sometimes she would even go to kingdoms pretending to be a traveling princess in search of a spouse. Who would question someone with an entourage of 1,000? She could use all the power of this devotion to charm kings now, feasting off of the kingdom like a parasite till it was time to go. Marrying multiple partners for a dowry is only a problem if you get caught. Sometimes these kingdoms would retaliate, taking from her supplies of worshippers. But even a soldier doesn't fight as hard as the truly devoted. And when she was bored of being a princess, she became a queen. And when she was bored of that, a goddess. She had a golden bikini, a godly golden bikini, forged from the most expensive materials and gilded with gold and jade. She knew the corrosive pantheon lacked a god for love or beauty, so with a little green in her wardrobe and eyes, who would know if she claimed to be them? Marketing did half of her job for her, and her magic did the other half. As a new goddess, her doctrine and influence spread even faster. Promises of gold and honey to flow like the green river. An afterlife of Aesir wives and past loved ones. Forgiveness for past deeds, and personal sessions with Malva herself, all for the one high price made. People from all walks of power, considering worshipping the new gods on the block. She made sure her followers shouted louder than her doubters could criticize. Her publicity stunts only grew in complexity, including fake assassination attempts, public orgies with thousands of participants, condemning beloved gods, public trials, and executions. All was good for Malva, until one night, she was stabbed, without warning, from behind through the heart. For she had angered the god of retribution and vengeance himself, and he came to enact justice for all those fooled and deceived by Mal. As the god was giving Mal a sentence and listing off her sins, personally offended that she would claim to be the god he was supposed to be, but he was caught off guard when she was able to defend herself. Malva unleashed a wave of energy that ripped out the spear of justice, and the god was speechless. This was a weapon that was able to kill gods before, yet a mortal survived. He left with a warning, half in fear. The encounter invigorated Mal. She had survived an attempt on her life by a god, but she would need more help if more gods intervened. She figured the gods started to care about her since she started sapping their followers, but she wasn't ready to quit yet. She sacrificed some of her followers in a ritual to meet the king of the demons, who had been interested in Mal's ability and willingness to manipulate and use the emotional, magical energy in her followers. In exchange for some intimate secrets from Mal, the king gave her demon mages for her plan. These mages traveled to the 11 crystal capitals to project a massive light show in the skyline. This light show was half sermon, half concert, as Malva pleaded for all watching to be among her chosen ones, to live in eternal bliss with her. With years of manipulation experience, she performed a final scam in hopes she could gain enough power to resist the gods themselves. The light shows were shut down, the demons killed, and the god of vengeance once again appeared to kill Malva. But the damage was done. Malva could feel the worship and devotion of 30,000 dedicated souls. She not only sensed the usual imperceivable god, but attacked him back. After she gained the upper hand, clutching the god by his throat, he asked Malva how she was able to do this, and she responded, "I am not Malva anymore. I am something more. I am the lust and dreams of 30,000 pathetic degenerates who think themselves a chance with me. I am the gullibility made into power. I am false hope made manifest. I am Malvarus, goddess of greed, and I am beyond you." With a clench of her fist, the god turned into a bright green mist. She would have probably killed him. She looked down at her bright glowing hands and could feel it. She was now a god in every sense of the word. She began to leave her golden palanquin to spread the news before she felt an ungodly pull. She didn't quite anticipate that becoming divine herself would make her susceptible to the god veil. But since she didn't belong to a crystal, nor have any godly friends, where exactly would she go as she was yanked out of the material plane? In a panic, she used her powers to create a demi-plane that resembled her palanquin. In an instant, she was gone, with her followers left confused and alone. Malvarus was banished to this demi-plane, as all gods who were stricken from the material world are. And without the help of those other gods. Eventually, Malvarus was able to channel her power and whisper into her followers once again. Her cult was alive and well, 30,000 strong. Over the years, cities and kingdoms now know of Malvarus, and sometimes illegalize her worship. But Mal does what gods do, living in their demiplane and influencing their followers to do their bidding. But after centuries of amazing worship and receiving tribute, she can't help but feel a little lonely in her demiplane. And that is the story of Malva, goddess of greed. Ooh, that story was a lot longer than I thought it was. How'd you guys like that one? I messed up in a couple parts, but I think I got there. The first vtuber. Yeah, there are definitely parallels here to someone abusing their followage. Amazing story. Awesome. Good. Awesome. What you got there? It's a water bottle. Clap, 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 clap. Got it. Good, 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 good. Very hot. Thank you. Loved it. Awesome. Yeah, I don't write evil gods often, but when I write them, I really like making them really fucking evil. So, that's what I did with Malva. Fantastic. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Silver scale, I like that. Does anyone have any quick questions or specific comments about things they liked or whatever? You do go all out. I like it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Evil and horny? Yes. Yes. I shall also take a taste. Yeah, make sure everyone drink after you read like 5 pages of fucking story. Lori's very dedicated to her craft when she tries, which is great. Did he grow old? Malva? No, Malva is a goddess, so she forever remains what she looks like, I guess, when she ascended, but she could probably take any form she wants. Her crush she was wrapped up with? He does not appear in the story. Interesting process of apotheosis in the setting. Of course, of course. We have a couple of gods that started mortal and then ascended. This is the, I think this is the only evil one. Yeah, so he doesn't appear in the story. His story is probably lost to time. Like, not even his name is recorded. He probably just lived his life, I guess, in poverty with his wife as the town lost all of its riches. I like that she made artificial external ugliness for an innocent woman and see herself grew eternal ugliness. Yes, yes, Marcego. Yeah, that was done on purpose. It's good. At least he died with his true love. Probably, yeah. Really loved it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, something I didn't want to reveal early in the story, but in my head, I don't think that guy ever really loved Malva back. I don't know if Malva even really loved more than, like, coveted the guy. Just, like, wanted him, as opposed to actually felt true feelings. He dodged a bullet. The whole bullet. Thank you, Marcego. Well, listen, if you just said yes, there'd be one less evil goddess. Just saying. Love is an obsession, not true affection. Yeah, like she wanted to have him, like a possession. She said she felt lonely in the end, so maybe she did in the beginning, but then it grew into something that wasn't love. Yeah. Also, it's kind of like ambiguous, because she gave the witch her love, so is it like just her love for that guy? Is it like her ability to love ever? I don't know. Leave that up to the reader's interpretation. I have the freakiest clientele. This isn't a Humera situation. Oh, like from Madoka? Made me feel like I was actually there and participated in certain events. There is definitely a modern evil e-girl influence, I guess, to the storytelling and wording. She got a Brazilian butt job, yeah. Can verify its authenticity. I specifically wanted the posterior line in there. I didn't know how else to word she got a fat ass from the deal. Cake. All this fancy froze, and then one line is just like, she got a dump truck. Seductive cake, yes, of course. Listen, she seduced enough people that she became a goddess, so she gotta be caked up for real, for real. Goals. I do really like the line, I am gullibility made into power. I am false hope made manifest. I think that's fucking, I think that's fire. And she got upstarted by another blonde babe, Lamau. So caked up I went blind for a day. Was a good line. Yeah. Trying to think if there's any fun facts I can give you guys. Here, okay, I'll give you some fun facts about it that's on this god page since I'm here anyway. It's usually depicted as a young woman with long pink hair, a very petite body, besides a large posterior, in a golden and jade bikini, and thigh-high black socks. I wrote that. That's hilarious. In provocative poses with suggestive faces. She is sometimes depicted as different peoples, especially with elf or cat ears. Idols in her image and in different poses are made and sold, in various sizes and poses. Does she have any art? Well, I'm not an artist, so I didn't, that's what she looks like. What do our worship consider holy symbols? I think those are like, oh no, those are sold. I don't know, hold on. Give me a second. Baba Yaga, true. Long pink hair and provocative poses. She's Pixie Willow. Any lost paintings that may resurface? Listen, if I can make a whole book about Crystalian gods and make like images for all of them. She has lewd figures being sold? Yes. Worship of Malverse is illegal in most crystal cities, so most of our worshippers are secret cults and enclaves that meet in secret locations to worship. The most devout offer all worldly possessions, including their body. Others worshippers may invoke her name and power, often as merchants, to squeeze as much profit out of every transaction. Malva is not picky over worship. Some good people may, at their weak points in their lives, secretly say a prayer or invoke her name in specific deals or to gain affection of certain people. How big is her pantheon? Like, fucking a lot. It's not all made yet. At the high range, probably less than 99. Followers of Malva also sell idols of statues of her. These statues are made of different materials and mostly provocative poses with suggestive faces. While these statues can be used to directly worship, they are mostly sold to people who have no idea they depict Malvarus. They are sold as generic vanity items and toys and collect worship from the unknowing buyers as they admire the statue. Malva's clerics have waifu PVC figurines as a sacred focus. Yeah, literally. Oh, this is a fun fact. Although Malvarus is a sex worker and has sold her body, her nature makes her an unfavorable god to sex workers in Crystalia, and they prefer to worship the likes of Lavana instead. This is a fact that makes Malvarus unbelievably mad and hate her in jealousy. Bardic lore and myths. She apparently has a live counter for her follower count in her realm. There is a ritual that can summon Malvarus on the surface of Crystalia. When summoned, she is said to perform a ritualistic mega-orgy to all involved. Whether Malvarus herself actually manifests or she sends a convincing double is debated. Do her priests read super chats? Yes. Malvarus chooses champions who are resourceful, cunning, and ruthless, those willing to do anything to increase their wealth, status, or power. While necessary for her engine, she has no interest in giving power to those who have already given her everything they have. She also looks for those who would spread her influence and obtain her more followers in the cracks between the law. Champions of Malvarus are considered investments and must pay her back fivefold what she gives. If a champion falters or quarterly checkups aren't met to estimates, Malvarus has no issue cashing out and dropping the champion. The following table adds some suggestions of getting her attention. Yeah, that's about all we wrote on her. So she's a pimp as well. Malvarus treating her champions like a pimp sounds fucking hilarious. Oh, it is not enough to simply feel lust or greed. To truly gain Malvarus's favor, one must give in to the feelings and go above and beyond to obtain the objects of their want in her name. Consider the ideals below in addition to the one you have in your background. Oh, this is a fun one I wrote. This is entirely extra. As you ascend as a champion through the ranks below, your physical form and appearance become more beautiful and attractive. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but Malvarus gives this gift to be used as a resource, so conforming to local beauty standards, subverting them, or physically becoming like Malvarus are usual paths. You can see a mirror that only shows her reflection, which can be used for divination spells to communicate with their god. That'd be pretty cool. Any other questions or comments on the story? Otherwise, I'll hit the record button and we'll start playing Minecraft. I think the music was good. Higher the devotion, the fatter the ass? Typically. What's her animal sign? I don't know if she'd have a specific animal. I don't have a holy symbol for her yet, if anyone wants to think of something. Probably not a womb tattoo, because those are associated with demonic things, and she's not necessarily demonic, even though she's friends with the King of the Devils. Her holy symbol is a tramp stamp? Yeah, but a tramp stamp of what? Wait, a tramp stamp actually kind of works, right? Because if you're worshipping this goddess in secret, you can hide a tramp stamp. That's interesting. A mirror with her face on it, the tablet of a fantasy past. Oh, we could do something like that. A pair of horns like succubus horns? Yeah, but she's not demonic. A duck? Her tramp stamp is a chocolate bar? I like the idea of a tramp stamp, but more like getting a tramp stamp of Malva's holy symbol. I just don't know what the holy symbol would be. A cameo of her face would work great. Greed. A donut. What is a greedy animal? I have no idea. A dragon. A vole, a type of animal that mates for lives. Is a fat clit. Thank you, Morsego. Crows. Crows would be interesting. Alright, it's not supposed to be world building. It's supposed to be question answering. So no, we don't have a holy symbol or an animal of choice yet. The box of chocolates she was gonna give to her crush. Maybe? Like shiny things. Maybe like a golden heart or something, I don't know. Holy symbol is a dildo. Lioness. Lions are greedy. I don't think she strikes as a lion, though. The box symbolizing the last kids of humanity before she had the fall. Yeah, Lord, but she's not a god that would, like, why would an evil goddess that is all about manipulating people care about, like, the last symbol of their humanity? Fool's gold. Only beautiful on the outside. Huh. You know, I don't hate that. A flame that attracts moths for foreshadowing? Yeah, but we have a whole pantheon of fire gods, so making her a holy symbol of flame maybe doesn't make sense. A snake, maybe? I don't know. Alright, if there's no more questions, I'm gonna hit the button. This was 30 minutes. This is good, though. I like this. Real gold for the greedy goddess, fool's gold for the rabble beneath her. Yeah. Pantheon flame these nuts, thank you. Oh wait, oh I have a line I didn't read here. Okay. Sell your body, sell your soul, sell your friend. A mantra apparently spoken by Malvarus and repeated by her followers today. This summarizes her doctrine. Malvarus is lust, greed, and avarice incarnate. Those who desire what they don't or can't have a little too much. Those who desire what they don't or can't have a little too much may hear the seductive whispers of Malvarus telling them to give in to their base desires. The moment someone gets the explosion of satisfaction from fulfilling their lust or greed, Malva feeds on it. Merchants with some sort of power over their commerce and the ability to overcharge may be influenced to abuse said power. Malvarus also revels in false hopes, sweet lies of comfort and fake promises. The longer a follower of Malvarus gets someone to believe a blatant sweet lie, the longer she can suckle on the hope and peace of mind. Goals. Malvarus's goal since the beginning is to simply have more. Followers, worship, wealth, resources, beauty, anything she can. If someone has it, Malvarus wants it. She was never one to plan more than a month ahead during her time. As her long time in isolation of her demiplane has given her an ultimate goal, Never mind, I'm not reading that. Why did I write that? Oh my god, that's so cringe. What is so funny? Okay, I'll read it. It's cringe. I'm admitting it's cringe, so it's okay if I say it. This is why the page is private. Yeah, this is why the page is private and everything is everything is a work in progress. Okay. I'm gonna regret reading this. Okay. Her long time in isolation of her demiplane has given her her ultimate goal: to enact capitalism on all of Crystalia, along with an official and universal currency made of tin that she would control the value of. Only her most devoted would make up the upper class, while the rest would work meaningless jobs to pay off limitless debt. I'm sorry. What is your evil goddess's end goal? Capitalism. Oh my god. America Plus? Like cyberpunk, basically. She wants to enact cyberpunk dystopia. Malvis is the main villain in Bioshock 4. Lamau. Rejected chocolate is a Kickstarter for it. That's my thought. And chocolates are always used to lure out love on Valentine's as well as roses. Probably sounds better in my head. Roses aren't bad. So her followers would be rich merchants? Some of them, yeah. Rich merchants, yeah. She wants to become Cyberpunk 2077 on release. Literally, that's what she wants. It makes sense, but why did I word it like that? Like, why did I word it like that? Everything is subject to change, by the way, chat. I'm just imagining a campaign 10 years down the line, and then, like, everyone goes to a temple of Malverse, and the chat are just like, oh, that's the girl that wants to do capitalism. That's the capitalist god. An ant queen converting chocolates and bees. Maybe. Alright, I'm taking final questions before I end this. It's a 40-minute video. I will take 2 more questions and that's it. We have to follow Tim Curry's advice and go to space in one place with no capitalism. Yeah. Hopefully you're active when I'm back. Of course, of course. What would a miracles of hers look like? Ooh, that's a good question. What miracle would this god let happen? I don't know. Turning gold into more gold? Interesting. Gotta go pray to the cake. I think, like a physical change, like making yourself more beautiful, quote unquote, is the miracle, right? Like a transformation. Like when the nerdy girl takes off her glasses at the end of the movie and suddenly she's hot, that would probably be like a Malversian thing. Fool's gold to real gold. I think it'd be the opposite. I think if you wished ill tidings on someone, a Malversian miracle could be all of their gold turns to copper. So it wouldn't be to make you richer, it would be to make someone else poorer, I think. Bronze to copper sounds like a good miracle. Bimbofication. I'm gonna put that down. What's one of her miracles? Bimbofication is one of her miracles. A miracle of Malvarus. I don't know. Her miracle would be gaining a miraculous domination of a market share. True. Miracles are hard to quantify because they could really be anything as long as it's like not possible. Spontaneous orgasms and fat sacks. I don't think she'd be that sexual, weirdly. Fat stacks. You could develop a badonk? Oh. Begone thought, yeah. Doing what couldn't be done, turning an obsessive love yours, but there is a great consequence. Turning obsession to love. Huh. I don't know. I don't think she'd have any mastery over love at all. Maybe like inciting obsession. Like a miracle would be to incite someone to be obsessed with you. So that's like, I feel like that's as close as she can get to getting someone to love you, you know? Bruce Willis in the movie Death Suits You? I haven't seen that one. So like inciting obsession. Like you'd pray to Malvarus to get someone to love you, and Malvarus can't do that, but what Malvarus can do is make them obsessed with you. Which comes with its own drawbacks. Her descent to evil e-girl deity was because of failed love? Yeah. Alright, 1 second. All right, guys, that was good. That was a good session. I really like that. I'm gonna end the recording here and post this video on YouTube. If you're watching from YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the story, what you thought of the capitalism, and yeah, what you thought in general. And yeah, it was really fun listening. If you have any questions, I guess you can put in the comments of the YouTube video, and I'll try to get back to them. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thank you for having story time. Thank you to Shadow Prince for playing the story time card. Really appreciate you guys. And I'll see ya later. Bye-bye. Bye.